Stop spraying ants the second you see them on your counter, patio, or garage floor. That spray may kill the ants in front of you, but it can also scatter the trail, split the colony, and make the problem come back harder. Most homeowners think the visible ants are the invasion. They are not. They are only the workers. The real problem is hidden behind a wall, under a slab, inside mulch, or somewhere near moisture and food. You wipe them out today, then tomorrow, new ants appear in the same line like nothing happened. That is why store-bought sprays feel good for 5 minutes but fail for the whole week. And here is the part most people miss. The wrong bait can be just as useless as the wrong spray. If it kills too fast, the colony never gets fed. If it is placed wrong, the ants ignore it completely. Stay with this, because you are going to learn the simple $2 bait setup that gets ants to carry the treatment back, where the real colony is hiding. The first mistake is not the spray itself. The first mistake is timing. Most homeowners spray too early, right when the ant trail is giving them the best information they are going to get. That moving line across the counter is not just a mess. It is a map. It shows where the ants are entering, where they are feeding, and which route the colony is using to reach your house. When you wipe it out too fast, the kitchen looks better, but the source stays untouched. That is why the same ants seem to come back the next morning. In many cases, they did not come back from nowhere. The colony simply sent new workers through the same hidden route. Look at the places where this usually happens: around the coffee maker, along the window trim above the sink, under the dishwasher, near the dog bowl, behind the trash can, along the patio door track where crumbs and moisture collect. Those ants are not random, they are following a reason. And the reason is what you need to find before you start killing everything in sight. Pause right there, because this is where the whole method changes. If you spray the trail, you get a fast kill. If you bait the trail, you may get a delivery system. Worker ants are the part of the colony that leaves the nest to search for food and water. When they find something useful, they do not keep it to themselves. They return, recruit more ants, and strengthen the trail. That behavior is why a few ants in the morning can turn into a steady line by dinner. Spray fights that behavior, bait uses it. The goal is not to kill the ants on the counter. The goal is to get the ants to carry bait back into the place you cannot reach with your hand, your mop, or your spray bottle. That could be behind a wall void, under a slab, inside a crack near the foundation, or somewhere under mulch outside the kitchen wall. And this is where a cheap bait can outperform a full cabinet of sprays. For the basic setup, use 1 cup of warm water, 1/2 cup of sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of borax. Stir the sugar into the warm water first, then add the borax and mix until it is fully dissolved. Do not make it stronger because you are frustrated. That is one of the easiest ways to ruin it. A strong mix can kill worker ants too quickly. It may look satisfying because you see dead ants as near the bait, but that is not the real win. If they die before carrying enough bait back, you are still just killing the ants you can see. A slower bait gives the workers time to feed, leave, return, and share. That is the part most people rush past. The bait has to be attractive enough for ants to feed on it, but slow enough that the colony gets exposed deeper than the surface trail. Now placement matters more than the recipe. Do not put the bait in the middle of the kitchen and hope the ants discover it. Do not pour it across the counter. Do not smear it directly over the trail, and do not put it down after you already sprayed the area with cleaner or insecticide, because that odor can make ants avoid the spot completely. Watch the ants for 2 minutes first. Find the thickest part of the trail. Look for the place where the ants disappear, under the baseboard behind the stove, into a crack near the window, down the side of a cabinet, around the pipe under the sink. That is where the bait belongs. Put a few drops on a bottle cap, a small strip of wax paper, a piece of cardboard, or a shallow plastic lid. Place it about 1 inch beside the ant trail, not directly on top of the trail. The tiny distance matters. If the bait is too far away, the ants may ignore it. If it covers the trail, it can disrupt their movement. Beside the trail, they can find it naturally, feed, and recruit more ants to the same point. Use 2 or 3 small bait points instead of 1 messy puddle. Then comes the hardest part for most homeowners: leave it alone. For the next few hours, the bait may make the problem look worse. You may see more ants crowding around it. You may see them coming and going faster than before. Your first instinct will be to clean the counter and spray the whole line. Do not do that yet. That activity is the bait being accepted. If you wipe it up too early, you cut off the delivery route before enough ants carry bait back. If you spray near it, you contaminate the feeding area. If you move it every 30 minutes, the ants may never lock onto it. Give it 24 hours. If the bait dries out, refresh it. If ants are feeding heavily, keep it in place. If the trail starts to fade after 24 to 48 hours, that is when you clean and seal. But there is a trap here that makes a lot of homeowners think the method failed. Not all ants want sugar at the same time. A trail near a coffee station, syrup bottle, fruit bowl, bathroom sink, or dishwasher often responds well to sweet bait. But ants near a grill, trash can, garage corner, pet food area, or greasy patio surface may be looking for protein or fat instead. So if the ants ignore the sugar bait for several hours, do not assume the whole idea is useless. The bait may simply be the wrong food for that trail. That is why the location tells you so much. Kitchen counter ants may be chasing sugar or water. Bathroom ants may be chasing moisture, garage ants may be chasing pet food, patio ants may be feeding outside, and only entering through one weak spot near the door. The bait is not just a treatment, it is a test. It tells you what the ants are willing to eat and where they are willing to travel. Now keep safety tight. Borax bait should stay away from children, pets, dishes, food prep areas, and anywhere a dog or cat can lick it. If you have pets, put the bait inside a small covered container with tiny entry holes so ants can get in but larger animals cannot. Do not place bait where rain, sprinklers, or mopping water can spread it around. This is a homeowner fix, not a reason to get careless. Once the ants slow down, do not celebrate too early. This is where the second half of the job starts. Clean the old trail with soap and water, not bleach first, not heavy fragrance, just remove the scent path so new ants are less likely to follow the same route. Then seal the entry they already used, not the entire house, just the active path, a gap around a pipe under the sink, a cracked bead of caulk by the window, a loose corner of weather stripping, a dirty patio door track, a cable line entering the wall, a small opening where the baseboard meets the floor. Most homeowners waste energy sealing random areas while ignoring the one trail the ants already proved they can use. Follow the evidence, then remove the reason they came in, wipe the sticky ring under the honey bottle, clean under the toaster, rinse recycling cans before they sit in the garage. Keep pet food sealed, move mulch a few inches back from the siding, trim branches touching the house, check the cabinet floor under the sink for dampness. That last one matters more than people think. If ants keep showing up in a bathroom, laundry room, or kitchen cabinet, food may not be the main attraction. Moisture may be. A slow drip under a sink, a sweating pipe, a damp sponge, or a leaking dishwasher edge can keep ants interested even after the crumbs are gone. And if you miss that, the colony you knocked down today may be replaced by another trail later. Here is the order that works best. Bait first, while the trail is active, clean after activity drops, seal the entry point, then remove the food or moisture source. If you clean first, you may erase the trail before ants find the bait. If you seal first, you may push ants to a different opening. If you spray first, you may make them avoid the bait completely. The order is what makes the cheap fix work like a system. There is one more warning sign you should not ignore. If the ants are large, especially large black ants, and you see sawdust-like material, damaged wetwood, or activity around a window frame, porch post, or soft trim, do not treat that like a simple kitchen ant trail. Carpenter ants can point to moisture-damaged wood, and the real repair may be behind the surface. In that case, the ants are not just stealing sugar. They may be showing you where the house is staying wet. That is why blindly spraying ants can become expensive. It keeps your attention on the insects, while the condition attracting them keeps growing quietly in the background. So the next time ants appear, do not react like the trail is only a nuisance. Read it. Where are the ants entering? What are they feeding on? Are they after sugar, grease, pet food, or water? Is the trail strongest near a sink, a door, a window, or an outside wall? That answer tells you where to place the bait, what kind of bait they may accept, and what part of the house needs attention after the colony pressure drops. A $2 bait works because it changes the job. You stop chasing individual ants and start using their own movement to reach deeper into the colony. That is the difference between a clean counter for one afternoon and a trail that actually disappears. But if ants keep returning to the same wall, even after bait works, there may be another problem behind it. A tiny leak, a clogged gutter, a damp cabinet corner, or soft wood near a window can keep attracting insects long after the food is gone. When that happens, ants are not the only problem. They are the early warning. The next video on the screen shows the hidden moisture clues around your home that attract ants, roaches, termites, and other pests before the real damage becomes visible. But there is one more warning sign you absolutely cannot ignore. If you see large ants, especially large black ones, along with sawdust-like material or soft, damaged wood near a window frame, do not treat them like a normal kitchen ant trail. Those are carpenter ants. They are not there to steal your sugar. They are showing you exactly where your house is staying wet. At this point, blindly spraying for ants becomes incredibly expensive. It keeps your attention on the insects while the real cause is quietly destroying your home's structure in the background. In this case, the ants are no longer the problem, they are your early warning system. Even if the ant bait works perfectly, a tiny leak, a clogged gutter, or a damp cabinet corner will keep pulling roaches and termites in right behind them. To spot the hidden moisture clues around your home before the real damage happens, click the video on your screen right now. I will show you exactly where to look.